Hey everyone, it's Kenzo from FutureProofers, and today we're going to talk about the future of drones, and more specifically drone delivery. You might have remembered Amazon announcing this a couple years ago, and some people commented that this was way off into the future, and apparently the future has now arrived. You might have missed this, but last month in the UK, Amazon actually completed its first successful drone delivery to a customer in the UK, and they worked with the government to allow for this pilot test. And you can see actual footage here from the drone landing on site at the customer's home, and the customer then proceeding to pick up the package on his front lawn. And total time between when the customer initially pushed purchase on the Amazon site and for the package to arrive to his home was an amazing 13 minutes. So how's that for same day or next day delivery? And what was that first package that the drone dropped off to the customer? Well, it was an Amazon Fire Stick and some popcorn, not surprisingly. So this is actually not the first commercial use of a drone that's been tested out. In Japan, during a recent golf tournament, you can see this drone being used by the online retailer Rakuten, who was piloting the service for its own commercial retail activity. And while you were on the golf course, you're probably pretty far away from any snack cart or refreshment, and so you could punch into an app and place an order, and the drone would fly out to the hole that you were residing at and drop off some water and some food for you. So pretty amazing stuff occurring in Japan as well. And so obviously we've seen huge growth within the drone market, both from a consumer perspective and a defense and military perspective, and still on the defense side, hugely outpacing the consumer market. But you can see that green bar in this graph tracking and growing sharply over time. Now, one of the constraints here within the US has been the FAA and the restrictions and regulations and safeguards, rightfully so, around protecting the types of usage and limiting commercial use for drones so that we just don't see a massive explosion all at once. Now, interesting, one industry that has gotten exemptions around drone use has been the insurance industry. Now, you might ask, insurance industry, that doesn't make any sense. Why would they have any interest in drones? So here you see footage from AIG, and this is them testing out drone and aerial surveillance to look at property that they're insuring and see if there's any damage, see what liability and how much the property should be insured for. And you can see how much more efficient flying out a drone to provide overview around this type of locale versus getting people on the ground into some of these difficult to reach geographies in place. So some pretty fascinating stuff occurring within a potentially boring industry like insurance. So I'm curious to hear from you whether you think that these developments within the UK and Japan and the insurance industry are a sign of the future, and whether or not our airways will be crowded like this someday with drones flying left and right overhead, and whether you think the restrictions by the FAA are safeguards or if they're going to limit us and hold us back in terms of keeping up with other countries like the UK and Japan. So let me know. So that's all today from FutureProofers, and looking forward to hearing from you next time. Thanks.